Oh, thank goodness. There you are. Those pneumo were rather frightening. I'm glad you're safe.
I see you use daggers.
Thancred taught me, but I'm still a novice. The Minfilius before me battled Sin-Eaters as part of the Yulmoran army.
Those daggers are, early elegant design as well. I wonder if they're from the Crystal Tower.
But that had all changed by the time I was found. They held me captive, so that I wouldn't follow in the others' footsteps. I'd still be in my cell now had Thancred not spirited me away. When he found me, I knew nothing of the world. I didn't know how to live, let alone fight. Thancred once told me that if the efforts to summon you failed, it would fall to me to face the Light Wardens. I realized then that it was the only reason he kept me close.
Oof.
As a contingency.
Oof.
The truth is, he can't stand to be around me. Because I'm not her. I'm not his Minfilia. Once, we journeyed to Nabatha together, to the place where the Oracle appeared and stayed the flood. As we drew near, I felt as though I was fading away. I shut my eyes and covered my ears, and then... I'm not sure what happened after that.
Oh, we should just tell her. Thancred is such a coward.
I have a vague feeling that I said something to him. Only it wasn't me at all. Afterwards,
Sorry.
Thancred didn't say a word. Only kept to himself and brooded. There's nothing I can do for him. Nothing I can offer but my presence. Though it only reminds him of his loss. She should be the one to live on. That's why I tried to find you. Because I knew that was what she wanted.
I like Thancred's story arc as well. He is being a prick, but it's like, it's very understandable. It's very relatable. I have a lot of sympathy for him. It's just interesting to me that he's been holding on to this for years.
But now that you're here, I'm not entirely sure what it was she intended me to do.
He's been traveling with Miniphilia for either 2 or 3 years now.
Was I meant to tell you something or bring you to someone or somewhere? I can feel the answer at the edge of my mind, just out of reach. What is that?
Why? Why did you imprison us? Such boredom, such tedium have we suffered. It is unfair. Unfair. Come. Come and play with us.
It came from the castle.
Ooh. Oh, it makes my skin crawl.
This is everything I have. Please see it delivered to the Pneumo. I will bear word to Thancred and the others.
Although I gotta say, knowing now that it's the same voice actor as Y'shtola, just kind of putting on a Gaelic accent, that is a little bit of the edge out of Titania for me. Just a little bit. Yeah, it's the same voice actor, yeah. Yeah. It's really funny, like, when you do the fight, hearing it is really funny. Hearing it and then imagining your Stoller delivering those lines. Come and play! Just, it really tickles me. Oh yeah, she's great. Most people had no idea. No, not until it's kind of pointed out, right? Hey, Arb, what's up? What's going on? Mercy, Your Majesty, we had no choice. Please forgive us. Oh, it's you. My ink. Were you able to retrieve it? Ah, yes, this is the ink. And almost all of it, too. You know, it's really weird being, like, smaller than a Numo after playing through this on an Ellison. And then being, like, knee-high. When our king spoke to me, my day went from bad to worse, but thanks to you, it's simply bad again. Oh, you had the vision, too. Oh, woe is us. Ordinarily, when a living being turns into a sin eater, it loses everything about its mind that defined it. However, the king has retained some of their instincts. This manifests in the desire to play and be free. As strong as that desire often leaks through the seal to invade our consciousness. For a long time we've ignored it, but can't do so forever. But forgive me, I was going to thank you for reuniting me with my ink. I did exactly as I asked, so I'll give you the service I promised. Nothing up my sleeve, and voila! I'll serve you well. Great, thanks. Yes, I have, Zuba, absolutely. Ah, there's nothing like honorable work. Thanks again for giving me the opportunity. Oh, I should mention that Elder Wide Egg returned a moment ago. If you seek him out, I dare say they have tidings for you. Ah, thank you, Wide Lad. The widest of lads. He's quite a wide lad next to my Latherfell, actually. I mean my dwarf. Sorry, Freudian slip there. Titania and Titania were the only special cases? I mean, they're all like... You mean in terms of retaining their consciousness? Yes, as far as we know. Yeah, I mean, they're all special cases. They were all like formed very differently. Yeah. Yes. Ah, there you are. I'm informed that you've been an excellent patron to our people. For that you have my thanks. Now then, you'll be pleased to hear we've come to a decision regarding the scepter. If you'll gather your companions, I'll deliver our answer. Before I begin, please allow me to express my gratitude for your kind patronage. Having been deprived of purpose for so long, our people are overjoyed at being able to serve again. On to the matter of the stone scepter. During our deliberations, we were forced to concede that we will never have the power to deal with our fallen monarch. We can release Titania neither from the castle nor from torment. In light of this, we've decided to entrust their fate to you. Take it, the stone scepter of the Numo. This makes 3 relics. 1 more and we can arrange a meeting with the warden. Ere you continue your quest, allow me to enlighten you as regards to your foe. Lord Titania is not a name, a title bestowed upon one chosen to lead the pixies by the grace of nature. This leader, upon Ilmeg's founding, arose as ruler of all Faefolk to bring order to our righteous kind. In turn, we Faefolk render our blessing unto nature, onto water, wood, and wind, our king may be further empowered. Though they are become a sin eater, their powers will remain unchanged, and you face and be prepared to face the full fury of nature. Oh dear. Is there anything else that we should know? Anything else? Only that if you feel unready for the challenge, and none here would blame you for it, you're welcome to remain among us a while longer. After all, I myself have yet to enjoy your patronage, and who knows when I'll next have the chance. We would see that you are comfortable, of course, and we're in our power to make you feel at home. Oi! Honestly, I look away for one moment and... Oh, wait, she's not Cockney, she's Scottish as well, isn't she? I look away for one moment and every fairy in there... No, that's still... No, I guess she's Cockney. And then Uncle tries to steal my sapling from me. This is my sapling. Mind you hear, not yours, not the Fuaz. Anyone who so much as thinks about trying to seduce him will wish they hadn't. Now she's a Cockney geezer. Oh, I'm trying to do too many voices at once. Oh, God. Oh, man. Oh, my throat hurts now. Ahem. The final relic is a pair of shoes wrought of crystal. They are held in the Amaro safekeeping at their settlement, Volkdorf. It beareth mentioning that these Amaro were unlike those which thou hast theretofore encountered. Owing to peculiarity of evolution, they are capable of speech, and thus we might negotiate with them as we have the Fey folk. Though it saddens me to see you leave, we wish you well on your way. When you arrive in Volkdorf, seek out the largest of the Amaro. His name is Sato, and he is their leader and the bearer of the relic. Oh, Sato. If I have time, Zuva. Haven't decided yet. What's my take? We talked about it a lot at the beginning of yesterday's stream. But, yeah, it's a bloody dense one, isn't it? It is a bloody dense one. There was a lot of stuff in there from 5.25. Like, a lot of what we were seeing. Including, in particular, Dalamud. That's all Bodja stuff, as far as I can tell. The shot running through the Bozjar dungeon, and you know it's the Bozjar dungeon because we're with Mikoto, the Al-Ra Charlene from Return to Iblis, and you know it's a sequel to Return to Iblis, so ipso facto. Yeah, and the tower that Dalamud is sort of floating above, you can see that in the background of the shots of the party running through that dungeon. Or that instance, whatever it is. Seto. Is it Seto? Sato? Seto? Sito? Whatever. Mog. Oh my god. Sato. Odd, but... Oh, this bit is so sad. Oh, forgive me, I was having a dream. Seldom do men visit us. What brings you to our village? Did I hear you aright? You desire the crystal shoes that you may confront the Light Warden. No, you mustn't think such thoughts. Even if you are indeed immune to the Light's corruption, as you claim, vanquishing the king would bring you naught but sorrow. Forget this folly. Return whence you came. While we appreciate your concern, you have no choice in the matter. Will you not reconsider? Come, my friends. Let us leave him with his thoughts. Yeah, that is tough, isn't it, Espional? I mean, I always wait for a couple of days before I do the MSQ anyway, and it's gonna be the same this time. It's harder by far to change the minds of they who mean well than they who mean ill. Forgive me, but I'm not sure I understand. And little wonder, 'tis the first time thou hast set foot here. Would behoove you all to learn something of the nature of this community, I think, and there is no surer way than to speak with its members. In such wise, you will come to understand Sato's reason for refusing us, and I hope, gain an insight into how he may yet be persuaded. I bid you seek out the Amaro and make yourselves known unto them. A gentle touch shall suffice by way of a greeting. You can pet the dragon bird camel in this game. It's pretty good. Man, I really want my Amaro on my main. I think that's got to be like our next mission after we get this character up to speed. Well now, it's not often that we are visited by men, much less unglamoured ones. What brings you so far from your own kind? / pet. I come here to pet. I am here to pet! Oh, how long has it been since I last felt man's touch? I cannot help but be reminded of my master's hand. He was a knight of Vobit, a noble and valiant soul. But like so many others, he died fighting the Sin Eaters. Though he is long departed, I remain in this land out of respect for his memory. Aww. As someone who doesn't have Shadowbringers, what are the beast tribes for Shadowbringers? So far, we've got, well, actually 5.2, we've got, what are they called? What is it they're calling them here? Wanna help me out? I know Yoshida mentioned it. The Kikern here, what are they called? Kitari? I think it was the Kitari. Yeah. So we've got the Pixies already here in Ilmeg, and we're going to be getting the Kitari and Raktika in 5.2. Are you one of those treasure hunters? There is nothing left for you here. No, I am here to pet! Oh, that tickles! Enough! I never had a master, I'm not accustomed to it. Alton and I dislike your kind, you understand. On the contrary, we Amaro were bred to be fond of men. In the beginning, we were all of us mindless beasts, but then a mage of Ronka gave us the gift of intelligence that we might better serve our masters. After that empire fell, those with the gift eventually died out. On rare occasions, however, we are born with the seed of our ancestors in us. If we live long enough amongst men, this seed may quicken, restoring the power of speech to us amongst other things. So it was with me, though I never had a master, as I told you. The dwarves at AK Lava are also going to be a crafter tribe. Yeah, I think that's interesting, because the Kitari... Yoshida said they were for gathering, but I assume it's going to be crafting and gathering. Or maybe it is just going to be gathering. Wouldn't that be interesting? We had a purely gathering one and then a purely crafting one. What is all this commotion? Did something happen while we slumbered? Yes, the pets happened. What's happening? Why am I being patted? It's wonderful. Seldom do we have the chance to enjoy the attention of men. Your kind are loath to come here for fear of the Fey folk. But then we are Fey folk too. When first we made our home here, we swore an oath to the Fairy King, you see. It's easy to forget sometimes. Pretty sure it's just gathering. That is going to be very interesting if that's the case. They sound like mini auspices. Yeah, I guess they're not hugely dissimilar. It's a similar concept in some ways, but they are created by the Ronka, and it takes 100 years as opposed to 1,000, which is the kind of general term for auspices. Thou hast peered into the heart of the Amaro, I take it. Then thou canst not choose but see the intense and abiding love they bear for men. It is out of concern for our welfare and not scorn that Sato seeketh to dissuade us from confronting their king. Yet confront their king we must. That end we must needs have the crystal shoes. Ethys, might I prevail upon thee to confer with Sato in private? The task of slaying the Light Warden will ultimately be thine, and it is for thee, I believe, that he worrieth most. Tell him of thy many great deeds. Spoken in earnest, thy words may yet move him to change his mind. He is huge. He is immense. You have spoken with my brethren. Then you see it is not out of scorn that I deny you the relic. I simply cannot bear to see men fight and die. Not anymore. None of us can. To lose one who has placed a gentle hand on us even once fills our hearts with untold sorrow, as my brothers and sisters will readily attest. Something I must do. What am I to make of such declaration? Tell me, why do you wish this? This land is no longer man's to fight for, nor will your doing so compel the Fey folk to change. And in order to obtain the other relics, you will already have paid the due price. Not more is owed. Why, then, would you risk all to face our fallen king? Keep a promise to my friends. Not yet, Pingu. What did you say? The very words. Could it be mere coincidence? Very well. You may believe what you say, but we shall see if you have the strength to do it. Sin-eaters have been prowling the area of late. Prove yourself against them and I will consider giving you the relic. See that you are well prepared, then meet me in the clearing to the east. There I will lure out the fiends, that you may slay them. No, the only crystalline mean questline I've done so far is the facet of gathering. I spent, after Ishgard came out, I spent like a couple of weeks furiously getting all my my crafters up to 70, and I've got most of them there. And then I'm gonna go through and do the mean stuff on them. So that'll be happening pretty soon. I will use my voice to lure out the Sin Eaters, as once I did when I hunted with an old friend. A feeble cry for the ravenous, a mighty roar for the territorial. I still remember the tricks. And come, we begin at your signal. Ready then? Very well. Oh my. Woo. This quest line makes you sad. Man, most quest lines in Shadowbringers make me sad. It's a bit of a depressing expansion in a lot of ways, isn't it? Okay. You made short work of those creatures, I will not deny it. I have seen enough. Let us return to Vorikdorf. You're not gonna give me a lift, bruh? Okay, alright. I don't know, what's the dumbest animal in the jungle? You tell me. Oh, snowmans? I didn't even think of that. Oh, jeez, I hope not. By the ease with which you slew those Sin Eaters, I see you are capable. However, I still require time to think. And if you should be willing, there is a favor I would ask of you. Yeah, alright. Polar bear does make sense. This is not a test to your strength, but a personal request. Please hear my tale. A while ago, I fought Sin Eaters who had wandered into Ilmeg. In the heat of battle, I dropped a prized possession, a medallion. Of all the places that it should fall, it was Longmere Lake. We Amaro are not fond of water. We certainly cannot dive very deep. I briefly entertained the thought of turning to the Fruar, but they are more likely to keep my medallion out of mischief than return it to me. I despaired of retrieving my treasure, but having seen what you are capable of, perhaps you will be able to find it. While I ponder your request for the shoes, will you not go and search for my medallion? If it should elude even you, I will accept that it is gone forever. Ah, oh, poor Sato. Oh, so sad. It makes me kind of wish that we had a closer relationship with our Chocobo, you know? Actually, that's a lie. It just makes me wish I had my own bloody Amaro mount already. And then I could have it as a companion like my Chocobo. After this quest, you use your Chocobo more often. Felt guilty, did you? Actually, I think if I... It's my shortcut for diving. There we go. I think if I dive, I can mount, can't I? Yeah. Hello? No? I think it was in the church. Yes, I think this is it. Hey! No. Oh, you are returned. How fared your search?
Ah, my medallion! You found it! Oh, I know not how to thank you. It is my most treasured possession. A gift from a dear departed soul. He was a traveler, and together we journeyed to the ends of the world and back again. When I was young. In those days, I could not speak. But we found joy in each other's company nonetheless. Oh, the memories. This medallion he found during an adventure. Fashioned it into a necklace for me, his partner in crime. I had not the words to tell him then, but it filled my heart with pride. I was so happy.
Oh no.
His name was Artbert, and he was my friend.
Artbert, thou sayest?
Everyone blamed him for the flood, him and his comrades. Some few spoke up for them, of the many whose lives they had touched. But as the years went by, their voices were drowned out by those who only uttered the adventurers' names as a curse. It was too much to bear, and so I left behind men and their lies, and came to this place. Artbert was a trusting soul, constantly being drawn into the troubles of others. Yet in spite of this, he never thought twice when he saw someone in need. He always tried to help. It was no different then. The world needed heroes. It needed him. And yet, he was a good man. He deserved to be happy. I wish I could have told him that, at least. You remind me of him. Your kindness. When we Amaro were created, we were granted the ability to perceive souls. Thus did we recognize our masters. That ability has long since faded from our kind. But due, perhaps, to my reversion, I can see your soul. Faintly, but surely. It is reminiscent of Ardbirds. Strikingly so. Of course, you are you and no one else. We are defined not by the soul we are born with, but the path we walk. Nevertheless, I cannot help but feel that this is more than mere coincidence.
Yeah, that makes no sense. If you can see our soul as a result of his reversion, and he hadn't reverted when he was with Ardbert, then how the hell would he know what Ardbert's soul looks like?
Which is why I will place my faith in you. The relic. It is yours.
I mean, I know that we need to build up the revelation of us and Ardbert, but
There's trouble! Terrible trouble!
Has something happened at Lida Loran?
Together with the twins, we were playing tricks on some nasty mortals to stop them from setting foot in Il-Meg. At first they ran off screaming, which was lots of fun. But then a scary, bony, wrinkly old mortal came along and spoiled everything. None of our tricks seemed to work on him, which is no fun at all. And now they're getting closer and closer.
Ranjit. If he manages to find his way in, all our efforts will have been for naught.
As thou sayest. Should we be discovered ere our mission here is complete, and the Light Warden yet liveth, our task will be rendered nigh impossible. If we are to prevail, we must needs divide our forces. Thus do I propose the following. Whilst thou salliest forth to meet with the Light Warden, we shall join in the effort to obstruct the trespassers. Should we succeed in staying their advance, all the better. Yet even should we fail, if we can but delay our enemy's arrival long enough for thee to secure victory, our plan may still be deemed a success.
So the moment the lights go out, we all beat a hasty retreat, yes?
Let me come with you. I have the blessing too.
No, Midfelia. You'll only get underfoot. Now come.
I wish there were more I could do. Please be careful.
how does everyone know it's night? I mean, I imagine like clocks and shit probably still work, right? Sundials. Yeah. Well, that wouldn't work, actually, would it? Because you can't see the sun, either. Like, it's not a singular light source. It's colder at night. That's true. Maybe it's just kind of cold. I don't fucking know. They just know, alright? Forgive me. It seems my indecision has cost you precious time. I'm convinced now. Convinced that you will triumph. To the south, you will find the bridge to Leargear. As the bearer of the 4 relics, the gate to the castle will open to you. Let's do it. I don't know, there's gotta be a way that, like, the people here know when it's night, right? They're not just guessing, surely. Dismissive of how they tell time here? I wouldn't say dismissive, I just don't think it's that important, you know? Like, there are really kind of significant, important, interesting lore details, and then there's stuff like, hey, how come we can still use Gil here? How come it's the same time in Othard and Eorzea? And it's just like, well, because of lunar narrative dissonance, you dummy. And they give us some, like, you know, hand-wavy lore explanation, but it doesn't really matter that much. It's such a contrivance, it's always night and we take out a warden. Oh yeah, of course it is. But again, who cares? Who cares? It's awesome. I think there's a... I'm sure there's a ether thing around here, but whatever. Sack it. Of course I'm hyped, Sickle. Of course I am. The gate has recognized you. Let you bear all 4 relics. The seal is broken. All that remains is to enter the castle and confront Titania, being bereft of reason and mercy. It is sure to be a ferocious battle. If anyone can bring an end to our king's torment, it is you. You know this, my adorable sapling. Though we fair folk may appear to live unfettered lives, there are still laws that bind us. Take back as much as is taken, to create as much as is destroyed, to give as much as is received. In all things, balance must be preserved, and the same will be asked of you. But worry not, come what may, your beautiful branch will ever be at your side. I don't think that anyone in the Crystarium actually knows how to use the tomestones. Because if they did, they would definitely, like, have knowledge of, things outside of the first shard. Like, they don't... Oh, you want to come, Mad Guns? You want to join us for a cheeky little, Titania? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. That was the wrong one. Let's do it. Let's heckin' do it, bruh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I should probably port back to Lila Loran and repair. Oh yeah, I can put it in Party Fan if you guys like. Let's do that. I'll put it in Party Finder for a minute. Oops. Recruit members. Trials. Dancing Plague. Beginner's first time is welcome. That's fine. Yeah. All right. I'll leave that up for a couple of minutes and then we'll queue it up. Oh, that's alright, Althine. That's okay. You can believe GT, what, Graha, swiping the time stones with information on them, stashing them away before they set off for the first. Yeah, imagine that. Just the king, I think, Arb. But I think it might be a Fua. Sorry, not a Fua, a Numo power. So she's got the power of all the different Fae. They've kind of given them their blessing. And yeah, as a result, Titania can use abilities that are sort of otherwise unique to each of the different Fae races. So the Numo use alchemy to make their mushrooms grow real big. And that's kind of the same shit that Titania's doing. Yeah, Graha does just kind of let like chimeras and shit and gremlins and who even knows what else out of the Crystal Tower. He was pretty lax with what he brought over with him. Alright, it looks like it's just the three of us, so let's go ahead. Go ahead and get into it. Thank you very much for the help, you guys. Appreciate it. Hopefully that should be a little bit faster. Less than 5 minutes. Yeah, with a tank and a healer. Hell yeah. Alright, let me see if there's any, here we go. Northwest. This way. Might as well while we're waiting. Certainly don't need to worry about any of the side quests. Given that I'm already 79. Holy crap. I did actually think I'd probably be 80 by now. I think it's up here. Yeah, there it is. But we've only done a couple of instances, really. Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, Os, did you want to come as well? If there's anyone else that really wants to come, then do make some noise if you're online. But I left it open for a couple of minutes and we only had one join, so I figured just go up. Jose's giving you hope you can make your own Porksy someday. Oh my goodness. I mean, there is a Porksy minion, if I'm not mistaken, right? Oh, there it is. Alright, never mind. There it is. So I wonder what the hell happened to the original Angelo? Yeah. That would be pretty cool if it was still alive in Charlan. Well, I imagine another race could become Titania because we nearly become Titania, right? Yeah. It's just that the first one was a pixie, And as far as I understand, this is still the first one.
Come and play. For the night is bright and you sleep when you're dead.
Wasting no time. Alright. Man, I have no memory of how the story mode goes in this fight.
When you play with fire. We're sick of this crap old castle. Let's see.
Me too, Titania. I'm sick of this crap old castle. Spent way too much time in here. Does she even have the phase transition in normal mode? I honestly don't remember. People are so lazy with those mechanics. Hey Plato, thank you so much. Thank you so much for 14 months. Ah, yeah, okay, here we go. No tethers either, yeah. Yeah, mostly the same, yeah. They'll seem mostly the same. his arm's length. There it is. Oh man, is it 83 already? Holy shit. Slow DPS. This is gonna hurt.
Dance like the leaves on the fire.
You killed E4S more than you did this fight. What, in the extreme mode? That is interesting.
This is so much fun. Let's play some more.
I did my 8 kills of E4S and then basically just like packed it up. Oh, we're all ranged. You're wondering why no one's limit broke. I'll do it. The dancer will be so cool. Bam! Oh, watch out! It's the front. Oh no, that's not a cone. Oh, that was the cone. That could have been messy. Yay!
We can play no more.
I feel really bad for Titania. Poor thing. Oh, thank you. Thank you, my good Hrothgar friends. I appreciate it.
You have freed our fallen king. Not that I expected any less, my Snayak.
Oh, man, everything about Vobert is just so sad.
The dress, the crown, the scepter, the shoes. The time has come for these relics to serve their true purpose. For they are not only keys to the castle, they are also blessings to be bestowed upon the new king. The way into the castle is opened when it is time to relieve the reigning monarch of the throne. And the brave soul who does the deed has the honor of taking their place.
Hell yeah!
Should you ascend the throne, you will become one of us. Never again to live as men do.
That's fine. That suits me.
Adorable sapling, my precious mortal. We Fae folk live forever, but such is not your virtue. To strive for a dream you will never see, to sow seeds that others might one day taste the fruits of your garden, that is the beauty of your kind. Burn bright and shine as only you can. These blessings, your lovely branch will accept in your stead.
Faol is so damn presumptuous here. This was your game all along. You've been using me. Of course you could stay a warrior of lights. You'd just be a fucking fabulous warrior of light. Also, Chungo would look exactly like Faol, but with a beard.
Il meg okbra. Now, shall we attend to those unwise enough to trespass in our realm?
Where you demonstrably don't stop caring about mortal contrivances. Faol's still down to clown with us.
Confound it. How did they get here so fast?
Damn these pixies and their tricks!
How in the seven hells?
Listen well. We come in pursuit of villains who have fled to this land. You know who and where they are. Now show yourselves and answer me before I lose my patience.
Oh, stop! It hurts! It hurts!
Enough! Lift the enchantment!
Minfilia, willful child. How many times must I come to collect you?
I won't return to your maw. And I won't let you hurt my friends.
What is this stance? Where did you learn it? No oracle I trained would make such an unseemly show of herself. Know your shame, gal. You're powerless. You have no life nor purpose, save that which our master sees fit to permit.
Who are you to dictate her purpose?
There they
To
are.
lock her away and deny her a life? If she was powerless, it's because of you, you sanctimonious swine. But no longer.
I mean, Thancred, you're not giving her a bunch of agency either, dude.
Fool! Defiance only begets more suffering. It is through acceptance alone that one may find solace in this god's-forsaken world.
Look, the sky.
He's done it. The warrior of darkness has triumphed. General, what are our orders? What do we do?
We do what we came to do. Subdue this rabble and find the warrior of darkness.
Forward, men! Take the villains captive! Are you deaf? I said!
Holy shit. Holy shit.
What's happening?
Water? That wasn't there before. Ah!
Orwa ik ansasi, orwa ik kinsi.
Yeah, now this is the Fae we know from our Gaelic folklore.
What's the matter with you? Get a hold of yourselves, damn it! General, they come in greater numbers. We must retreat.
All who stand with a warrior of darkness shall face justice. My master demands it.
Yeah, the Amaro about to come in here and fell cleave everybody. Yeah, Ranjit's a mystery. Like, he's soul fused with
Well, it's a good
a
thing you
dragon.
all volunteered to become king in your stead, for all our sakes.
And that definitely helps. We don't know what the nature of this dragon is. Possible that it's unsundered. Like, we don't know when dragons showed up in the first, whether they evolved naturally or whether they're descended from Midgard-Zorma. Maybe one of Midgard-Zorma's missing broods, like, fled here at some point. We don't know. But yeah, he's like soul melded with one of them. He is extremely experienced and knows all kinds of secret kung fu. And probably has a shitload of umbral ether. He's probably been being fed on, you know, meal or whatever and powered up in the same way that Vothri is. I don't think it's literally made of his blood, is it? I think it's like fused with his blood. I think he like shares blood with it. But I don't know, we know so little about Gukumats actually. But you're right, like no one in the first, like no normal mortal person in the first has any business being as powerful as any of the Scions.
We are grateful for your timely aid, Feo.
And he does not curb stomp us the first time. He does not. Like he gives us nowhere near as much trouble as Xenos does the first time we fight Xenos. He just kind of uses like a bit of a dirty trick there.
It was the first night in recent memory. We all of us but wish to make the most of it.
I know what he calls it, Void Hunter, but we're given like a little bit more information on it by the A rank? Is it the A rank or the S rank? The one that was his dad's one.
That's something you must remember about us Fae folk. Though our existence may be eternal, we exist only for the present. We live in the here and now, paying no mind to futures that may or may not be. To wit, we are not driven as men are. We cannot fight for such causes as men do.
Does that mean you won't aid us against the Sin Eaters?
Not unless the mood takes us. But if it was to repay a debt, well then, that's another matter. To take back as much as is taken. To create as much as is destroyed. To give as much as is received. Such is the way of Ilmeg. By this law, we shall lend you our strength. In return for the beautiful sky you have restored to us. In times of need, do not hesitate to call.
Yeah, the threat of Ranjit is the fact that whenever we fight him, we're under time constraints and there's like this real sense of urgency and we need to keep moving. We don't have time to spend like an hour fucking trading fisticuffs with him. He's scary to the Scions though, like he's a real big scary threat to the Scions without us.
Silly sapling. I shall remain at your side. Even should my body be in the castle, 'tis a simple thing to have a little part of me accompany you. Treat them as you would your Isnefis.
So but pretty much the whole story is summed up by us refusing or forgetting to call Fail. Well, Espional, I understand that, but at the same time, I think it's nice to... With the Warrior of Light's canonical power creep, it is nice to kind of set some stakes every now and then. And like remind us that even if it's through sort of, you know, unnatural or contrived means or, you know, cheap tricks or whatever, there are still things that can get in our way, you know, there are still meaningful obstacles. And in a new storyline, like it's kind of important to introduce them early on, I think. Give a sense of what's at stake, right? Ne'er for a moment did I doubt that thou wouldst triumph over thy foe. Yet the majesty of thine achievement delighteth me none the less. Night hath returned to Ilmeg, and we stand one step closer to delivering the first from its doom and averting the 8th umbral calamity. 'Tis but a pity thou wert not present to see the Fey folk put the Ulmorans to flight. 'Twas a sight to raise the spirits, I do assure thee. Ah, but what valuable allies they might prove, were the mood only to take them. No, Bismarck isn't ever really explained. No. My suspicion is that he's probably something from around before the Sundering. That would be kind of the easiest explanation for why it's something that's known to both the people here and the people on the Swords. It has to at least be a concept, a word, an idea that comes from before the Sundering. And maybe it's a name that's been given to him here, and a name that's been given to other things in the source. We don't know. No, we don't really know. I knew you could do it, not only because of your blessing, you have a strength all your own, and it has seen us through many a trial. With the warden defeated, I believe our work here is done. It's time we were going. Together, needless to say, to the bitter end. Fate of our two worlds being at stake and all that. Now then, I suggest we hurry back to the Crystarium. Much and more may have happened while we were frolicking with the Fey folk. That Ranjit elected to pursue us makes me hopeful that the city was spared Yulmor's attentions, but I would sooner see for myself. Besides, I believe I speak for all of us when I say I've had a belly full of ill-make. This is a way before the fairies think to play with us again. Yeah, there was a leak. That is true. There was indeed. And therein, perhaps, lieth the origins? Perhaps? Hard to say. Amdapor saw Sin Eaters, other people could have seen Bismarck. Well, see, we don't know that what the Amdapori saw came from here. In the same way that here on the first, the Verbertite plague created Voidsent. It transformed people into Voidsent by smashing their polarity so far into Astral that they underwent the same transformation and became like a Voidsent, like literally Voidsent. So it's very possible, and probably the case, that whatever the Amdapori were basing their golems on were functionally Sin Eaters. They were creatures that had been smashed through the umbral pole and had transformed. But not necessarily ones from the first, and not necessarily ones from, you know, the last 100 years in the first. We know time works kind of weird, but as far as we know, it moves in the same direction in both worlds. Wish they'd bring Amdapor back into the story. Me too. Me too.
All seems well at the Crystarium.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so excited for
You're
Boljar
claiming
Void
you're
Hunter. You have
concerned
no
with finding
idea.
us. How flattering.
Oh, here we go.
You certainly took your time. I had half resolved to complete the task myself.
And you are...
Were one to study the annals of Garlean history, one would find yonder visage on many a page. Though by rights its youth should long since have faded.
Well, well, we have a historian in our midst. That spares me a lengthy explanation. I am Solus Sos Galvus, founding father of the Garlean Empire, and under various guises, the architect of myriad other imperially inclined nations. As for my true identity... I am Emet-Selch, Ascian.
Gaius spoke of you, a native of the Source.
Equal in rank to La Habrea. And you came all this way just to introduce yourself to us?
Oh, Thancred loves La Habrea.
Behold the sky, restored to its former glory. Have you ever seen a more affecting spectacle? Oh, it is truly, deeply... infuriating. Do you have any idea how much you have delayed the rejoining?
Yeah, actually, it's kind of the idea.
Following the flood, the first had been listing ever further towards the light, towards stasis. The end was in sight. Enter man and his indomitable spirit. He would haul the world back from the brink. And adding his lumpen weight to the power of growth, he duly tipped the scales, if only by a fraction. Yet a fraction was enough to spoil the perfect imbalance needed to bring about a rejoining. Had mankind continued to live in idleness under Vorthri's rule, all the conditions would have been met. But you had to come and ruin it all. Thanks to your meddling, light supremacy is in doubt, and our painstakingly laid plans are in tatters.
Well, I should begin by thanking you for confirming Urianger's theories on the inner workings of the Calamity. He will be most pleased. As for what happens next, might I suggest you admit defeat and walk away?
Happy to let me go, are you? Because the murderous glint in your eye suggests otherwise. Indeed, it is enough to make me think better of confronting you alone. Look, it did cross my mind to simply side with Vorthri and kill you all. But that's no different from what La Habrea did. And we all know how well that ended for him. And so, while it is liable to be troublesome, I have settled upon a different approach.
It really bothers me how so many people misunderstand this scene. Let me just take a pause here. There are so many people in the fandom that completely misunderstand Emet-Selch here and take this for genuine, right? That they think that he's genuinely considering, you know, helping us and letting us prove ourselves as, you know, worthy successors to the ancients. That's bullshit. It's completely disingenuous. What he's doing, what his plan here is, what he tells us at the end is that we're gonna collect all of the light from all of the light wardens, and then he's gonna be able to use us, and he's gonna be able to basically point us in the right direction. You know, if we're willing, you know, through willing cooperation, once he's told us the truth, ideally, you know, that's what he hopes, that we'll side with him, that we'll be down to clown. But one way or the other, that He's going to use us as a tool to bring about this calamity. So many people talk about Emet-Selch as an anti-hero, as like this tragic figure. And sure, he's a tragic figure. But at no point is he genuinely considering leaving the reins of history and mankind and giving us an opportunity to prove ourselves worthy or whatever. He literally cannot turn from the course of resurrecting Zodiac because he's tempered by Zodiac. So a lot of people misunderstand his scheming.
To hinder your hunt for the Light Wardens. If you desire it, I will even lend you my knowledge and strength.
Since time immemorial, you and yours have labored to rejoin the 13 shards, at the cost of countless lives. Do you expect us to believe that your objective has suddenly changed?
Nay, our objective is the same as it ever was. Though I dare say, you do not know our motive. A war waged without knowledge of the enemy is no war. It is mere bloodletting. Just once, might we not seek to find common ground? For good or ill, I am immortal. Provided I have the inclination, I can always begin anew, scheme and conspire to my heart's content. But this time I thought that I might instead try to see eye to eye, to understand what drives the hero of the source, to determine if our goals are truly incompatible. So come, shed your preconceptions. See beyond the unscrupulous villains you take us for. When all is said and done, we may find ourselves pleasantly surprised. The proud discoverers of a path of cooperation rather than opposition. Think of it.
That's not how you astro.
Proposal, and we would not dismiss it outright. If I may offer thee counsel, however, to make thy case via an illusion reflecteth poorly upon thy sincerity.
My apologies. You will forgive me if I'm not entirely at ease in the presence of a famed Ascian slayer. I felt it only prudent to take precautions. Nonetheless, your counsel is duly noted. I take my leave, friends. Rest assured, we shall meet again soon.
What do you expect if that hit? I really want to see a cut of that hitting Emmet like square in the chest and just sort of like, you know, doing exactly what you expect it to do if you threw a card at someone. Just fluttering to the ground, yeah. Cooperation? You can't be serious, can he? Well, we've certainly been given much to ponder. First things first, we should report to the Exarch. You can run along, Ethys. We're perfectly capable of handling this little task. In light of your recent exertions, I say you've earned a rest. Go on, take yourself off to bed. We'll see you later, refreshed and ready for more. No, he's not. He's not entirely wrong about that at all. Emmet has always been much more careful and conservative and all of that than either La Habrea or Elidibus. Cut straight to the post-Emmet fight. Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna have to do that now. I think I'm gonna have to edit that. Aww. I hope, excuse me, I hope the past few days have not been overly taxing. Pray take your rest and recover.
From the Exarch, is it? With that mirror of his, he can watch your every move, you know. You probably think you're talking to yourself. Still, he's keeping you well fed. Judging by his people's faith in him, he seems to be a decent sort. But so much about him remains shrouded in mystery. Like, what was he doing back in my day? There was no such person when I was around. A lot's happened since the flood, though. Since I was set adrift. I know little more than you do of this city's history in the Exarch's past.
You know, all of the Team Crystal boyfriend peeps, like, you do realize that he has aged, right? You realize, like, he says it a few times, he is an old man. He's Crystal Grandpa. I mean, if that's what you're into, like, no judgment whatsoever, but people, like, draw him and talk about him as though he's still, you know, little babby, late teens Grahatir, and he's super not. Of course, old men can be boyfriend too. I just think that people need to be clear about it. He's Crystal Grandpa.
Not that it matters. It's Emet-Selch we should be concerned about.
Lena calls him grandfather at several points. She's his adopted granddaughter. That's their relationship.
About to be consumed by light, the Ascian in white appeared before us. He said that the only way for us to live on was to bring about the rejoining.
Yeah, he might be immature, but he's still like 120 years old.
Desperate as we were, we heeded his words, not realizing that the flood was of the Ascian's own making. They cannot be trusted. None of them. But Emet-Selch had one thing right. One should not fight blindly. That's what we did. And it cost us everything we held dear.
Biff Tech, that's a very good question, but we never saw him there. That's something the player has seen, but the character has not. Oh yeah, like if people are into old man Crystal Grandpa, like I'm 100% all about that. I don't have an issue with that. It's just when people like willfully misrepresent characters in the fandom, I'm kind of like, did we play the same game? The thing is, like, it's the same with Emmet, it's the same with Xenos, right? It's like the character that the fandom is in love with is a totally different character to like the character in the game in the canon, right? They have attributes and personalities and you know, physical features that are just completely separated from what they are in the game. And people get confused with the two, particularly when someone's being like critical of a character in the game. People think that they're criticizing like the headcanon, sort of like, you know, fandom constructed character rather than the literal like on script character. Know what I mean? Tell me about Sato, Ardbert.
What? What about Sato?
What is Sato?
What is there to say? All right. He's done some growing. When we were traveling together, he was nowhere near as big. And he obviously couldn't speak. I had no idea how much that medallion meant to him. What about you, anyway? You must have a friend like Sato. Chocobo, perhaps?
Oh.
Come on, you tell me something for a change.
And tell him about my bike, about my cloud bike. Yeah, Renriska, it's an interesting phenomenon, isn't it? Oh, silly headcanons are like 100% okay. It's just when people have discussions about these characters, they're discussing totally different characters, is the thing. All right, here we go. Into another one of the most important cutscenes in Shadowbringers. A little bit more of cosmogony and metaphysics for us. Yeah, I mean, sure, Sushi, let's go with that. Yeah. Let's go with that. My Cloudbite's got a mammoth core. It's got a personality.
Ah, there you are. You're just in time to welcome our guest.
Ugh. Hey, remember guys, if you ever redo the MSQ, talk to him at every opportunity you get when he's standing around.
Please. Did I not explicitly tell you that we would be meeting again soon?
Yes, yeah, I did.
Lest you forget, I made you a promise. I have no intention of meddling with your mission. I come only to observe.
Your Exarch friend in particular has piqued my curiosity.
Summoning you all like that. Most impressive.
You honestly expect us to believe you've come only to observe? Or that you might deign to lift a finger to aid our cause if called upon? Even if there were a sliver of truth in your words, I would never accept your help. Not in my darkest hour. Not after all the suffering your kind has wrought.
So petty. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. Wage your war against the Sin Eaters, put each and every Light Warden to the sword, prove yourselves heroes, brave and true, and I will be glad to embrace you as allies. Allies worthy of bearing the burden of truth. Surely such a partnership would be preferable to yet another round of fisticuffs. And thus did the olive branch wither and die. Pity. Well, let no man say I did not try, futile as it was. though I suspect you will seek me out when you grow tired of making the same mistakes. Difficult decisions lie ahead of you. Decisions best made with the benefit of knowledge to which only the Eternal are privy. For now, I shall resume my shadowy vigil. Whatever you choose to do, make sure it's worth watching, would you?
Well, Emmett has spent most of the time sleeping, actually. Canonically, like, since the Sundering.
Attempt to make us doubt our chosen course, most like. As if we'd believe a word that passed his lips. Unless you think there is some truth in what he says.
If he simply meant to lead us astray, he could have done so without revealing himself. At least, not in the manner he did. It goes without saying that an alliance with the Ascians is out of the question. But since we have no way of knowing where they might be hiding, it seems only logical to press on with our mission, even if our enemy seems content for it to succeed.
Then let us discuss the Sin Eaters. I would begin by thanking you all for your efforts thus far. In striking down the Light Wardens of Lakeland and Ilmeg, you have accomplished more in your short time here than all of our forces managed in the last century.
That may be, but the Wardens of Calusia, Amarang, and Raktika remain.
Indeed, and their precise whereabouts are as yet unknown. Which is why I propose we divide our forces and conduct a systematic survey of each region. Once we have found our quarry, we may then determine how best to proceed.
I'll take Amarang in that case. I know the lie of the land well enough.
If there are no objections, I will make for Calusia. I have connections there both in and around Yulmore that may prove useful.
Then I would ask that you journey to Raktika. There you will find Y'shtola. With her assistance, I doubt the Warden will evade your grasp for long.
Is Y'shtola the conjurer you and Urianger used to talk about?
That's right. Though we haven't spoken much since she left for the forest.
I fear I may be to blame for that. I had every intention of relaying the news of your arrival, but she is disinclined to speak with me. You have visited her, have you not? Might I trouble you to...
'Twould be no trouble.
My thanks. While you are all out in the field, I shall be here attending to business. I had somewhat fancifully contemplated joining the search myself, but other matters demand my attention.
What's that?
A missive from Lord Vorthry. He invites me to join him in Yulmore to discuss the recent conflict at Lida Luran.
And? Did he even bother to offer any bait? It's obviously a trap.
Damn it, man, guns.
Nevertheless, I must seize this opportunity to speak with him, even if only a few words are exchanged. Though my power will be much diminished so far from the tower, it is a risk I am willing to take. Master Alphino, might I impose upon you to accompany me to Yulmore prior to beginning your reconnaissance?
That's true. Yeah, Y'shtola's hiding in the forest because she knows that there's a classic Urianger prank brewing, and she wants to make sure that she's not the she's not the closest person at the time.
Of course.
Doesn't want a pie in the face, or you know, to be sent to another shard.
Safe travels to you all.
Because that's the thing with Urianger, right? Like, he might throw a pie in your face, but he also might convince you for several patches that he's betrayed you and then basically send you and all your friends before Heidelin to whisk a bunch of people off to another shard. There's just no telling with this guy. Before you leave, I would make a request of you. There is a church, or rather the ruins of a church, at Fort Job. Might I ask that you go there before seeking out Y'shtola? It was a place where people once gathered to worship the light. Alas, it has long since fallen into disuse. Yet within that hall there remains a tablet whose writings, I believe, may prove of use to Y'shtola. At the very least, such a relic would make a suitable gift for your reunion. A most considerate proposal. Very well. Ere we depart to Raktika, we shall journey on to Fort Job that we might secure this relic. Alrighty. Twitch buffering real bad. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I think that might be a good place to leave it, because if we journey on to Raktika, we're going to end up streaming another like 3 hours to get through that chapter. So I'm going to edit this in the last part I haven't edited yet, and continue with my write-up, because I want to get the first part of that out within the next couple of days, ideally. Hopefully even tonight, that would be good. So everyone on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are having fun. Thanks for hanging out. And thanks for being patient with the, you know, the couple of kind of Twitch-centric things you might have to put up with while you're watching this. Yeah, I'll see you in the next part. Take care.